Hi, I'm National Master Phil Crocker and welcome to the second of our 3 videos looking at double pawns. In this one we're going to be looking at playing with them. So in the first video we looked at the 14 different types. Now we'll look at playing with the double pawns, and in our final video we'll look at playing against the double pawns. So if I bring up the study I created on Lichess, the first position I have is a little bit of a joke, I suppose. It's not strictly speaking a legal position, but I've given white entirely double pawns, and what you can see, well, I mean, have a guess at whether you think this is good for white or black. We'll have a quick look through the moves, but the things to note are that white already has 2 active rooks. The bishops can move already. The queen is already active. So in terms of piece activity, white here has incredible piece activity. And in fact, when I put this into the chess engine, it gives quite a big advantage to white. So I actually got Stockfish to play a match against Komodo Dragon. Stockfish is a little bit stronger anyway, but we'll see that Stockfish does in fact win from this position. Most engine games at the top level, at least if you begin the game from a regular position, which is roughly equal, end in a draw, but white, Stockfish does manage to win this. And it's interesting that the first few moves that white does are to push the double pawn, so it increases the mobility of all the pawns and gives even more potential for the white pieces. So another move of the double pawn, and this is quite an interesting one, right? So white gains a more powerful pawn in terms of, instead of an A pawn, this one can move 3 ways rather than the 2 that an A pawn might have been able to move. The rook is obviously more active as well, and when you push this B pawn, then you gain more very good influence. You also free up the pawn behind, so this is often a very good maneuver to push the double pawn forward to increase your control of key squares and give more potential to your pieces. So I'll just play through a few moves of the game, but we'll see again the pawns are moved forward to create influence. The white pieces are already pretty active, and black is struggling to activate. And very quickly black goes down material. So black's managed to activate the rooks, but black is now quite a bit worse. And computer against computer, these things are defended reasonably well, so there's no quick checkmate. But by this point, move 20, Stockfish gives a plus 1.4 advantage for itself. So the rest of the moves are in the study if you're interested. So let's look at a human example of playing with the double pawns. So this one is a very famous example, and it's from the World Championship match, Ding Liren against Nepo, and it's from the game where white played the unusual h3 in the opening, and Nepo was a little bit surprised, as you might be, but the position stays roughly level until the double pawn moment. So here white could have just taken, say, knight takes c5, a move like that, and been perhaps a little bit better, but instead Ding took the knight and allowed the double pawns to be open. And what we see now over the next few moves is that black uses the additional activity that's given by those double pawns, and black also has 2 nice bishops, and Nepo does a pretty good job of putting white under a lot of pressure, so the rook comes onto the open file, and the king, very nasty. Black even castles queen side, and then you see the double pawn comes forward, so the pawns are gaining mobility, assisting in the attack. The bishop's opening up along this line, and this is already very awkward to defend for white, and white in fact does not manage to do that. Black sacrifices an exchange to maximise the attack. The second double pawn participates, and although black's an exchange down, black's got 2 pawns for it and a raging attack with the pawn very difficult to stop from promoting, and this was the end of the game. So that was open lines from the double pawn. The final example I have on this study here, we have a Caro-Kann. So this is actually Jovanka Huska against Alberto Suarez Real. Jovanka is black, playing her favourite Caro-Kann, and this enables actually 2 forms of double pawns for black. The more standard one, I guess, these days, pretty popular, is the EF version. For a while this was considered suspect for black, but now it is very popular, and in practice black is more or less equal, and what we'll see is black has possibilities of activating the bishops already pretty nicely, and black castles kingside. And if you think about the defense of the king, black has 4 pawns in front of the king, so it gives some extra protection for attack. White can attack the h7 pawn, but what you see now is a relatively recent innovation. Black actually starts pushing the pawns rather than move like g6 or h6 looking to defense. Black can actually move on to the attack and use the double pawn as part of that, and I'll just play through a few moves here. I mean, white is essentially okay here, but black is also doing fine, and the double pawns aren't really an impediment to what is going on. Black still has reasonable play, and white actually decides to exchange the queens, so the position is kind of more or less level. Black did actually go on to win, but not necessarily because of the position now, but the double pawns have done fine. So we've seen some examples of double pawns being used as a weapon, if you like, and we'll leave it there for now. If you have comments, queries, please post those. Give the video a like if you like it, or even subscribe to the channel, and you might consider buying my recently published book, Better Chess Faster, which is available on Amazon. Hope to see you for the third and final video on double pawns.